Davis, and I know you've probably been asked this a million times, but what kind of a line do you ride when you see the chances? And I mean, the night against Philadelphia was another example of where you generate a lot on the few power plays that you had, and so the temptation to maybe change things, but to also give these guys credit for what they have achieved over the course of the year.
Well, we look at it, like I've said all along, as part of process and how we're operating. There's a lot of different things that start with fundamental keys for us. Are we doing those things, or do we have the right mindset going out there? And if so, what is the next level of execution? Teams kill differently in certain situations, so we have to be ready for that and have our adjustments ready to go. At the same time, even when the puck's going in the net, there's parts of the process that aren't where they need to be, and so that's what we focus on. If their goaltender makes some saves, or if the puck doesn't go in, it's about how it looks, how we're operating, and all the detail pieces, and that's what we focus on.
Are you seeing teams make adjustments, though, to you guys? Now that we're into the second half and into the stretch drive, I don't know if that happens more, than it does at the beginning of the year when teams are just kind of sorting themselves out.
Oh, teams make adjustments all the time. It's not just because we've had success. I mean, our penalty kill makes adjustments against the other team's power play, knowing what's coming in and what their strengths are. And so teams are trying to take away our strengths much the same as we're trying to take away the strengths of their power play. So that happens every game.
So how are those details on your power play lately? The last 5 games, the good and the bad?
Last 5 games, I would give you 2 average, probably maybe a little below, 1 not good, and then 2 we can work with what we've seen the last 2.
I guess it might be 6 we got to go around. Maybe 6 games. Yeah. So if you had one more to that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, sometimes it's going in, sometimes it's not. I mean, it's just like had they go in, we don't have the conversation, but at the same time, we're having a conversation about details, fundamentals, and mindset.
Four Nations break have anything to do with that, just in terms of breaking up momentum? I mean, I got to think it's a lot about feel and routine and rhythm on the power play.
Can't predict that. Can't answer that for you. I mean, lots of teams have come out of it done well. Lots of teams have, sort of different pieces of their game. It's not just a power play. It's different pieces of your game are sort of misfiring, and that's the challenge this time of year because it's tough hockey out there, and it's tough for the last 20, tough going in.
Yeah, Kyle was just out here saying, can't remember the last time you had a stretch where maybe you had as many quality shot attempts and chances. So just a tough stretch of maybe some poor puck luck has to do with it as well?
Well, I never put a lot of stock into puck luck. I look at it like, it's baseball season. So, are we having good at bats? We've had last 2 games. We've had good at bats. We've hit the ball at their defense. So they've made the plays. They've got outs. Next time we will hit it to the open grass, if you will.
Davis,
fence.
The New York Islanders were, that was a real interesting game that you had against them the first go round, just before the Four Nations break. What kind of things are you looking at from their perspective, but more importantly, on what you're going to do against them on Tuesday night?
I think it's mostly us playing not only our game with our detail with it, but at our pace. And I think that's something that, whether it's an outlet here or an execution play there, is something that we can always clean up. And I think if you look at the last Islander game before the break, there was a little bit of a downshift in the pace of that game. We want to crank it back up.
You've been in the league a while and many trade deadlines. What does a trade deadline look from your and the coach's perspective when you're in a first-place team like the Jets? Is it just another week around here?
It has to be. That's what professional hockey is all about. You have to narrow your focus even more. That's what coming to work here is all about as a player, as a coach, as a staff member. The focus gets narrowed, and we worry about the Islanders tomorrow.
Do you, though, allow yourself to think about, maybe we could have some shiny new toys to play with here in a couple days, or?
It doesn't do us any good, so my answer to that would be no. It doesn't, it's not even as easy as predicting the weather, so I don't try.
How much of an attraction is finishing first overall?
Well, I think anytime you you put the jersey on, you throw the sticks out there, and someone drops a puck, you want to be better than everybody else. So that's a feather in your cap. If that's what happens, that's what happens. But at the same time, this group has been focused on a game-to-game basis, and so nothing changes for us now based on whether we're coming around the final turn and into the backstretch. That doesn't matter for us. It matters about how we play each and every day from one game to the next.